So I never thought that I would ever become an ebook reader. Like, never in a million years did I think that I would become an ebook reader. And it's kind of crazy for me to say when I'm sat here with 2 physical books, but this is crazy. Like, I love physical books. Like, this channel or these new videos that I started creating was birthed from my love of books. And like, you read the title. It's true, I accidentally became an ebook reader, but it wasn't planned. It was not like I went out and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna buy an ebook, I'm gonna see what the whole fab is about. No. I was just like, I fancied oh my days, it was just a complete disaster, a complete accident. But here's what happened, right? So I was, me and my mates, we were heading to a festival. What's it called? First Light Festival, I think it's called, not far from Norwich. And I can't remember why, but the morning of when I was leaving with my mates before we were heading for the train station, for whatever reason, I decided I don't need my headphones and I also don't need my book. What? I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, I don't need my headphones and I don't need my book. It'll be fine. The journey will be fine. It won't even be that long. And that's what I thought, obviously, before I left my mate's house with my bag and no book inside and no headphones. And, you know, I got to the train and we got on the train and I was chilling there. I was like, oh, nice, all right, cool. My mate's like, oh, you know, it's 40 minutes. I was like, all right, cool, 40 minutes. That's calm. I got my phone. It's fine. Then the realization set in. I hadn't full remembered, but I was like checking my pockets and I was like, oh, I don't actually have my headphones on me. Then I went to look in my bag and I was like, actually, no point looking. I know for a fact that I didn't take my book out of my other bag and put it into this bag. So I was in like this predicament. So I was like, do you know what? It's cool, it's fine. I could just go on social media, just scroll on Instagram. So I was scrolling on Instagram and then I realized that Instagram is like, at this moment in time, like, it's more like video focused or sound focused. So if I'm scrolling down Instagram and reading the subtitles, it's great and all, and I want to click on it, but I can't click on it because I don't have my headphones and it's a packed train. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Instagram's not working. I'm bored now. Jump off Instagram. I think, oh, no, I can't go on YouTube, no headphones. Oh, no, I can't go on Netflix, no headphones. So then the next thing I did, it was the literal last resort. I was like, books. I literally picked up my iPhone, typed into the, like, what's it called, the spotlight search, and I typed in books and I clicked search, and I was like, this will save me. And then it came up, because I couldn't remember what the, what's it called, the Apple bookstore was called. So I was just like, I know if I type books, I'll find it. Typed in books, found the store, and I was like, oh, I'm here. The online bookshop. This is what people have been talking about. And it's not like I haven't been to the ebook shop before, but usually when I went to the ebook shop, I wasn't looking to buy a book, I was just looking, you know. I was like, all right, cool, let me see what this is all about. Everyone's always raving about the ebooks. It's much easier, they say. That's great and all. Maybe it is much easier, but hey. So I was there on the app, scrolling through the Apple Books app, and I was like, look, this is a 40-minute journey. I don't want to be spending like lots of money on a book. Like, I already bought a book the day before I came to my mates. Books, like, I don't want to spend more money on a book. So I was looking on the Apple Bookshop and I was like, oh, you got a £2 or less section. I was like, nice. So I was scrolling through, and I ended up buying my very first ebook, but it wasn't like such a simple activity. It really, really was not just such a simple activity. First of all, the internet. On the train, the signal was terrible, the Wi-Fi was terrible. I thought, all right, cool, if, what kind of train was it? Was it like Greater Anglia train or something like that? I was like, they got free Wi-Fi, I got a VPN, it's cool, I'll be protected. Jumped on the Wi-Fi, I was like, oh, Wi-Fi is slow. I was like, all right, say less. Wi-Fi is slow, but although the Wi-Fi was slow, it was still kind of loading things. And then I jumped off the Wi-Fi, went onto my signal, and then my signal was in and out between 4G and 5G, 1 bar and 4. Do you know what I found out recently? Sidetrack. Well, not recently, but semi-recently. Did you know that the bars on your phone that show your signal aren't telling you the strength of the signal? It's just telling you how close you are to the nearest mast. Just a random thing, just because I was talking about the signals and I had 1 bar. Anyway, so I had that 1 bar, it was going in and out, and I was just like, this is stressful. I just want to buy a book. I just want to read a story. What is going to happen? So there I am. I'm searching. I get to this part where it's like I'm switching between the Wi-Fi and my 5G, and it's just getting stressful, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna find a book to read. And then I just, because I'm trying to open up the different genre sections to see what books are in there, but the covers aren't loading, so I can see the title, but I can't see the cover, and the cover is what's gonna sell it to me. Like whatever that cover looks like, yeah. And also the story inside and the back, but I'm most likely gonna pick it up because I see an interesting cover and I'm like, ooh, what's that book about? So obviously I decided on crime and thrillers or something like that. Scrolled down the section and I found this book. It was called The Village Detectives and the Art of Murder, and it was by Fiona Walker. I saw the cover, I saw The Art of Murder, I saw Village Detectives. I was like, oh, you got me. I'm sold. This sounds like my kind of story. But the problem was, like, although the 5G had got me to the cover, had loaded the cover, it wasn't showing me any more information. And then I switched over to the Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi was doing the Wi-Fi thing, and it was moving bare slow. So, like, it was just annoying, you know? And then, so I just switching back and forth between the Wi-Fi and the 5G, and then I decided, look, I'm just gonna stick to the 5G, and I'm just gonna click buy. I'm just gonna buy the book. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And yeah, that's what I did. I bought the book, it downloaded, it took forever through the download and then the actual process where I had to actually, do the Apple payment. But, I got there in the end and the book downloaded. So the book downloaded, I got my first impressions. Other than the Wi-Fi connection, it was surprisingly easy to buy, you just go through, find your section that you're looking for, and yeah, you got it. You got it. And, you can read immediately. I get it. I 100% get it. But what can you do? And, I opened the ebook, I got to the first page, and I realized that I got into the book, I was starting reading, but I got 2 pages in, and then my mate was like, yo bro, we're here. And I was like, but I didn't even get to. I read 2 pages. I didn't get to read the book. That was the whole point of the purchase. So obviously there's a convenience of these ebooks. They're absolutely convenient. 100%. I love it. Like, well, wouldn't go as far as to say I love it, but I appreciate what it does, you know, for the convenience of having an ebook or a book always with you. But I always have a book with me in my bag, so, you know, I don't have that problem. And there's like, you know, it fits in your pocket, you know, and see, that's one thing these books can't do. These physical books, they can't fit. I've seen people fit in a book in their pocket, but they're bending the book, you know, they're forcing it, trying to damage in the book. Like, come on, man. Like, the book doesn't deserve that, you know? So all I'm suggesting is, like, clothes makers out there, I'm looking for some trousers that fit a book in it. Like, in the pocket, like, not fit the book in the trousers. I mean, like, a pocket size, like trousers, you know, pocket, and the pocket is the size big enough to fit a book in it. So you could just be rolling around, and instead of having like same way you could have an ebook in your pocket, you could have a physical book in your, it would be so sick. I can already see the fashion. They would be called book-ended trousers. Oh, yeah, man. It would be the whole range. Like, people will buy it. Like, it would be, maybe I will make it if no clothes maker wants to take my brilliant idea. You know, I understand. You know, but yeah, convenience. You know, it's weightless. Not weightless. I mean, the weight of your phone or the weight of the ebook, but it's much lighter than a physical book, or I don't know. It's not like this book is heavy. But one thing I would say, if I have to say anything about the convenience of ebooks, is that they're perfect for emergencies. And in that story where I was frantically looking for a book on my train journey, and I didn't have my physical book to read, and there was no other, I mean, I could have read news stories and news articles, but like, for 40 minutes? I don't want to know that much about the news. I mean, I'm not saying I don't keep up to date, but I'm just saying, 40 minutes on the Saturday, you know, when you're on the train, you want to be entertained. But I started thinking, maybe ebooks aren't for replacing books. Maybe for me, they're just replacing boredom. And then with this ebook story, there's another side quest that appeared, because like this video was kind of like life made it happen. Like, I had an idea to make this video about like how I accidentally became an ebook reader, but then all the things in my life have recently colluded against me so that I do actually participate in the ebook revolution. I was going to say revolution, that's the word. The ebook revolution. Oh my gosh, I lost the words. The ebook revolution. I'm going to say it one time and that's it. Yeah, maybe, you know, I don't know. But the side quest is that, you know, this beautiful book here, you saw it in books I read recently, books I bought recently, and I said I was reading it at the time, and I said that I think I had read it for like 2 weeks at the time, and now we're like 2.5 weeks later, and I've literally finished this book, and oh my days, one of the fastest books that I've ever read. I've never read a book so fast. And what I would say about it, if anyone is on the fence about Before the Coffee Gets Cold, definitely check this book out, because I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but what I got from this book is that it's kind of like a parable for the characters within the story, as well as a parable for the readers. So the characters within this story, by the end of the story, all learn lessons that better their lives going forward. And equally, I feel that anyone that reads this will feel the same level of humbling from reading the stories. From my point of view, it feels like it's a story broken into 3 parts, but it's all centered around love. Love in 3 different forms. I think it's the love of what do you call it? The love of, no. Potential love and what could have been is what I think the first chapter is. The second chapter is probably, or is there 4 chapters? I think there was 3. So, but yeah, I think it's about like potential love and what could be, old love and what's missing that could still be whole again. Love between siblings, and trusting that nothing with family is always broken. And you may think it to be out of your control. You may think that you have destroyed something that can never be fixed again, but sometimes you just need to go back home and see what happens. And then ultimately, future love. And that's the most beautiful part of the story, which brings it all together, the future love of a child and their parents. The things that you want to say that you don't know how to say until you say them. That's, yeah, those are all the things that I got from this book, Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And that's what I would say about it. As we're still on this side quest, after I finished this book, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I was so ecstatic because I was looking for Brave New World for the longest time. I was looking for it. I've been looking for this book. I went into the bookshop, I saw Brave New World, and I picked it up. And today, when I was about to read it, I looked at the cover and I saw Brave New World Revisited. And I thought, what? What do you mean Brave New World Revisited? And then I looked on the back and I say, see also Brave New World. And I was like, so this isn't Brave New World. And then I started doing some research and I was looking it up on Google. It was like Brave New World Revisited versus Brave New World. Like, what's the difference here? What's what's going on? Only to find out that Brave New World, the classic dystopian novel that I was looking for and still am looking for, I'm going to be going to the bookshop, speaking to the book dealers, and I'll be like, yo, like, have you got Brave New World? Like the 1932 classic. Like, I need it, you know? Like, I got Brave New World Revisited, but I haven't read Brave New World yet. I need to read Brave New World so I can revisit it, you know? But basically, Brave New World Revisited is a revisited version where it's like less of a fiction and more of a non-fiction book, where Aldous Huxley, he goes back and revisits Brave New World about 26 years after the release of the original, and he kind of looks into kind of the predictions that he made within the book and sees how far he made, how correct he was in the predictions that he made, and kind of he analyzes his own text. It sounds hella interesting, and I do want to read it after I read and find Brave New World. So in a bookshop somewhere, in a book dealership somewhere, there's a book dealer at a counter or stacking stories. And I'm gonna be like, yo, like, have you got Brave New World? And they're gonna be like, yeah, we got Brave New World. And they're gonna take me over and point at Brave New World Revisited. And I'll be like, but that's revisited. I haven't visited Brave New World yet. But anyway, I was super upset to find that Brave New World Revisited was not the book that I had been searching for. So now I'm still looking for it, and the book that I wanted to start, like, after I finished work on the train journey home, couldn't be started. So I'm gonna have to go back to my original roster, you know, because I had like Cuddy coming up next, Cuddy by Benjamin Myers. I was gonna originally read that next, but then when I thought I found Brave New World, I was like, hang on, I've been looking for this for a while. Let me just read this quick. It looks like a small book, you know. I might be able to get through it quickly. But now I get to see what Cuddy is all about. So because of this misnomer, it meant that I was just like, while I was sat at work, when I figured this out, I was like, all right, cool, no worries. It's no worries. It's no worries. I've got my ebook, so I can just read my ebook. It's fine. So that's what I did. Got on the train, got on the underground. It was stuffy. I had to get my portable electric fan out, and I got a cool electric fan, yeah. Goes around your neck, press the button, blows air up at you. Jeez, cool for the whole journey. Anyway, also ebook. So I was like, it's cool. I just read my ebook. I opened the Books app. It jumped me straight back to the page I was supposedly on, but when I last finished reading the ebook, and I looked at the page, I read the first line, and I was like, I don't remember any of this. Like, I don't, what? And then I had to like go back to the start of chapter 2. I started reading chapter 2, and I was like, actually, no, I do recognize this. And on the second reading, maybe it was good to read it the second time, because when I did read it the second time, I was actually more into the story, and I understand more of what was happening, because I don't know, maybe I wasn't focusing when I was reading it before. So I'm back reading the ebook, and opens to the correct page. I skip back to chapter 2. I'm reading, and then it's funny. that the app remembered my place, but my brain didn't. I really find that crazy. So like, yeah, I'm trying to read the ebook and I'm sat there trying to focus on reading it. And like I said, I'm getting through it, but I'm getting through it much slower than I would reading a book, reading the pages of a book rather. So I'm reading, and I guess I'm getting through pages, I'm turning pages and stuff. And then there was this moment where like, I'm sat there reading my ebook and I look up from my phone and then there's this person across the train from me that has the audacity to be reading a physical book in front of me. Like, how dare she? I was so jealous. I was so jealous. Like, I missed turning the pages of a book. I missed the feel of my progress. I missed knowing roughly where I was because I opened the page and the bookmark. Oh, the bookmark. Oh my days. Although the phone was like, oh yeah, here you are. I am your automatic bookmark. I remember where you were. It's like, that's great, but I don't remember. So I missed it all. It was the worst. It was absolutely terrible. So there she was, teasing me, turning those pages, feeling the weight of the book in her hands, and I was so upset, so jealous. I literally went back to my ebook and I was like, I wish this was a real book. It was kind of like, what's that? No Place Like Home. What's the film called? The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. Is that the one or no? The Wizard of Oz. That's the one. The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I wish this ebook was a real book. I wish this ebook was a physical book. They're rocking away in the train. I was trying to read the pages, hoping and wishing. But it didn't turn into one. And basically, after that terrible experience reading my ebook, like it was, yeah. And it was funny because I actually had music. So I had my music. I was listening to the tune, so I was not listening to the outside outside loudness of the train, and I still couldn't fully get into it and fully focus. And I remember getting off the train, putting my phone in my pocket and walking and being like, saying to myself, I am never reading an ebook again. But then like about 5 seconds later, I was like, well, obviously I'm gonna finish this ebook. Like, there's no way I can just start the story, now I'm into it and think, I'm not gonna finish it. I'm definitely gonna finish it. It may take me a while, there'll be breaks in between, but I will finish that story. Because I'm intrigued, like, what do you mean they're village detectives and it's the art of murder? Who's this artist killing all the people? I don't even know what it's about. But you can see I'm excited. I got questions. But back to the ebooks. What I realized is that ebooks aren't trying to replace physical books. They're trying to solve a different problem. Like, I think I said it in my previous video before, I don't hate ebooks. Clearly, I've accidentally become an ebook reader because this ebook that I started, I'm now into and I will finish it. On those travels where I'm just like, oh, maybe I'll read my ebook on this journey. When I got a real book, why would I do that? If I don't have the physical book and I'm starving for a read of a story, then I probably will pick up an ebook. And that's what it is. It's the access. The knowing that, okay, cool, I don't have my physical book on me today, but I do have a story in my pocket. So I'm going to check that out. Like sometimes convenience wins, and sometimes experience wins. And sometimes everyone's a winner because everyone has access to a story. So, did I accidentally become an ebook reader? Potentially, but but like, I'm not replacing ebooks with the physical. Like, unless like physical books go away completely and ebooks is the last bastion, then, and I'm just like, well, there's no other way other than an ebook, so I guess eBooks. So, as I've got to the end of this ridiculous adventure of me accidentally becoming an ebook reader, I have some questions for you, as always. So my first question is, are you team ebook or team physical book? Now, this is a real important question. Like, I don't want to see people being like, well, I'm team ebook and team physical book. No, dude. Pick a lane, man, and choose it. Pick a lane. No, I'm joking. I mean, choose whatever answer you want. If you choose both, but like, obviously, like you like one team has to win. It doesn't. I'm joking. Everyone can win, but also physical books have to win. No, but for real talks, like physical books do need to win. Like, anyway, question 2: has an ebook ever saved you from a boring journey? As you can tell from my story, it has. And this is a confession space, clearly. Question 3: am I the only one who accidentally bought the wrong book? And when I talk about bought the wrong book, I'm not talking about the ebook. The ebook, I chose it. I picked it because of the cover, and I was pleasantly surprised that from reading the title and looking at the cover, that it was definitely the right book for me. When I talk about the wrong book, I mean Brave New World Revisited. Like, what? Revisited, guys? Huxley, why? But yeah, has anyone ever been like me and thought they bought the book they were looking for and then got home about to read it, or took it home and showed it to someone and they were like, dude, like, you realize this is not the book that you think it is? I don't know. Answer one of the questions, answer all the questions, but let me know in the comments. And yeah, I guess that is the end of my story, my confession. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you too have accidentally become an ebook reader and now you can't put your ebook down. I am not one of those ebook readers. But as we are at the end, I would like to thank you for watching if you got this far in the video, and yeah, I'll be here with more books, stories, curiosities, and yeah, deep dives into the rabbit hole. That is my brain. But let me stop talking and let's finish it here. As I said before, thank you for watching and goodbye.